Okay, so we're going to have a look at CodingBat and the missing char problem, which is in Warmup1. So the problem here, the task we've been given, is we've been given a non-empty string, so a string that's got some text in it, and an integer. And we want a new string where the character at that position has been removed. So if we look at these examples here, kitten1, the way that a string is written, so we've got these letters like this, and their position or their index in that string is position 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So if I do this first input here, so if I pass in kitten and 1, then we want to take out character 1. Character 1 is the I, we can see up here. So how are we going to take out character 1? What we have to do is split this string into two parts. Everything before the I, and then everything after the I. And then put those together without the I. So how do we get the first part? The first part, we're going to use substring. So we're giving a string called str. I know it's called str because in the program here, we get past a string called str and an int called n. So the string is called str. So if I do str.substring 0, 1, that will give me everything from position 0 up to, but not including, position 1. In other words, that will give me just k. If I wanted kit, then I would do str.substring 0, 3, because that would give me everything up to, but not including position 3. So it would give me positions 0, 1 and 2. So that's how substring works. So with this example of kitten and 1, I want the k and then the tten. So 0 and 1 will give me the first bit. The second part of the substring will be str.substring, and this time, if we want rid of the I, we'll start at 2 and we'll end at the end. So if we just do 2, it will do 2 to the end. Okay, so it'll start at 2 and it'll go all the way to the end, which will give us tten. So those are our two substrings, and that'll work for the first test. So let's put that in, see what happens. So let's make a new string called part1, and we'll set that to str.substring 0, 1. And then we'll set string part2 equals str.substring 2, 5. So we'll have our new word equals part1 plus part2, and then we have to return that new word. So that should take the k from kitten, 0 to 1, and then the tten from kitten, 2 to 5, not 2 to 5, sorry, just 2, and then add those together, and that should give us the new word. So if we hit go, it says it's running the code. There we go. So if we pass it kitten and 1, then we should get ktten, and we did get ktten, which means that's okay and that passed. So that's good. Lots of others failed, and that's all right for now because we've solved that first part. So let's have a look at this example here with kitten and 4. What should that do? Well, if it's kitten and 4, we want to get rid of the e. So the first part will be 0 to 4, because we want everything from 0 up to, but not including, position 4. So that should give us the kit. And then we want just the n on the end, and the n is everything from position 5 onwards. So let's see if that one works. Let's change these numbers. So 0 to 4, and then 5. And if we hit go, let's have a look. It doesn't quite fit on the screen there, but this one here, kitten 4, that one does work. We expected kitten, and we did get kitten, so that's okay. That worked. That means that's right as well. So how can we then come up with a general solution? We can solve it when we want rid of character 1. We do str.substring 0, 1, and we do str.substring 2. Okay, and that'll do 0 but not 1, and then it'll do 2 to the end, so it'll skip number 1. If we want kitten and 4, we do 0 to 4, which will be all of that, and then 5 to the end, which is that. So what's the rule here? Well, whichever one we want rid of, this one here, this example here, we wanted rid of position 4, so we can, that is a 4, so that seems to be a good coincidence. This one here, 0 to 1, and that was when n was 1, so we can replace that with n. So what that means is if I wanted rid of position number 3, it would go 0 to, but not including 3, so 0 to n. And then this one here is 1 after. So if n is 1, we want rid of the I, we want to start at 2 and go from 2 to the end. Well, that's 1 after 1, isn't it? And if n is 4, and we want rid of the letter E, then we need to go from 5 to the end. And again, that's n plus 1. So this number here becomes n plus 1. So whatever we wanted originally, we now want n plus 1. So if we test that over here and make that n, and make that n plus 1, and hit go, give it a second to run, and they all worked out correctly. Every one of them worked. So that's the approach. It's not just about getting the answer, it's about the approach, it's about the problem solving technique. So what we can do is we can look at how to do one of these, and if we can figure out how to do one, then we can try to figure out how to do everything based on that technique that we used. So give that a go, and that should lead you on into the next one, which is front back. And again, try and work out how to do the first one manually, and then see if you can see a general solution for how to do all of them, and give it a try.